So let's get started.
So Apple announced all their new products in yesterday's Apple keynote event. Now they released a load of software updates and tech products, but the reason why you're watching this specific video is to find out about all the iPhones. All the rest of the tech is for other videos. So this episode I'm going to be solely covering the 2018 iPhone X lineup. So without further ado, let's roll in that intro. Hey, it's JK, and Apple have released 3 new iPhones. And they are as follows: the iPhone XR, the iPhone XS, and the iPhone XS Max. Now when I heard the name Max, some people were actually predicting it was going to be called the Max. I was leaning towards the Plus. It turned out to be the Max. And also the iPhone XR, I thought was going to be the iPhone XC. It turned out to be the R. Not really sure what the R could stand for. Initially I thought it was Retina, I don't really have a clear sort of idea. Now the R starts at $749, the S at $999, and the Max at $1,099. And they all obviously max out at different prices, as you can see on the screen right now. So I'm going to cover each one of these phones separately, starting with the R. So what is instantly recognizable and what pops out about the R is the variety of colors that you can get it in. Now this is why we predicted it was going to be called the C, is because references to the iPhone 5C, which came in a bunch of different colors. And to be specific, the 6 colors that this iPhone does come in are white, black, blue, coral, yellow, and product red. And I made sure I counted so I can know all of them. Now this device comes with a 6.1-inch Liquid Retina LCD display. So far it's fine. Obviously they cheaped out on the display and put an LCD instead of an OLED, but LCDs are still fine. But what I'm not going to lie about, and what is disappointing, is the pixels. The resolution is it's not high enough for the price that we are paying. So the kind of disappointing resolution that this device does come in is 1792 by 828 with a 326 ppi. And actually, if you do go onto the Apple site, they have this thing where you can compare this screen to another previous screen. So you can just see they're trying to show off how good it is, even though it's an LCD display. Yeah, I'll leave links in the description to the Apple website if you want to go and check that out. Now, it does come with the True Tone display, which we've come to know and love. Well, most people. And in terms of the water resistance, it comes with an IP67 rating. Not a 68 like the iPhone X and this new 2018 iPhone X lineup. An IP67 is sort of water resistance and not waterproof or... It's okay. If you splash some water on it, it's going to be fine. But it's not going to withstand 20 minutes underwater like the iPhone X does. Now Face ID is supposedly much faster. That's good. Obviously second generation it should be faster. So hopefully it's going to eliminate the small amount of times that Face ID does fail. Now all the new iPhones released have the new A12 Bionic chip. Overall it's just basically much faster and thinner. Coming in around I think 7mm as far as I can remember. So we are talking super thin. Now the reason I didn't list all the specifications about the processors and the chip is because most people don't really want to hear that, don't understand it, it's just going to get bored. But if you do want to, I'll try and leave some links in the description. What was that accent change? But yeah, down below. Now with this upgraded processor, it also benefits the AR experience, which is always being developed. Right now it's still in the kind of tacky stage, but hopefully over time Apple will develop it to become something really major. Also on all the new iPhone cameras they have this new Smart HDR feature, which just allows you to have a higher dynamic range. Now the feature that really surprised me and what I really liked was the bokeh control. Now let's say you've taken a photo with Apple's upgraded portrait mode. This is the actual aperture, according to them, and as far as we know that's what it is. So for me, being a photographer and a filmmaker and a YouTuber and all that kind of jazz, definitely very useful. Now the camera can film at a higher ISO with lower grain. Obviously we can't let the ISO on this. Essentially it means in low light your camera's going to shoot better. And now onto the specifications that everyone judges the camera by. It is 12 megapixels. It can shoot in 4K at 60 frames per second. The wide angle rear lens has an aperture of f1.8. The sensor is 2 times faster than the last one, and it comes with optical image stabilization, so when you're filming the camera's not shaking everywhere. The front camera is 7 megapixels, shoots in 1080p HD at 60 frames per second, and has an aperture of f2.2. Now if you're looking to pick up the R, the storage options that it does come with are 64, 128 and 256. There isn't a 512GB option for this, but obviously it is the budget version. Now on to the iPhone XS and the iPhone XS Max. Now I want to preface these phones by saying that they're pretty much the same apart from the display size. So these iPhones are made out of surgical grade stainless steel and have a glass back for improved wireless charging, and speaking of wireless charging, Apple have improved it to make it faster this year. So hopefully I'm going to get a chance to be able to test that out because I did that last year. Now what I haven't covered in terms of cameras is the second camera that you get on the S and the S Max. That is obviously a telephoto zoom lens. Comes in at f2.4, and then the rest of the camera specs like megapixels and stuff like that just the same. Now Apple were really advertising their LTE speed, and this is supposed to be like super fast in terms of that. They also have dual SIM capabilities, but one of them is going to be like electronic, so you can scan it and you don't actually have to put it in. I believe if you're in China, not sure about India yet, but China you can actually have the dual SIM card slot because it's something very major there. But apart from that, you just get electronic SIM, so you can scan it and you don't actually have to enter it. It's a pretty cool innovation. And for this one, the storage options are 64, 256 and 512. 512 is crazy. But like, if I was buying them, I would take the 512 because in the past 2 months with this iPhone 10, right here, hopefully it was focused. But anyway, that iPhone, in about a couple of months, I covered 70 gigabytes. Obviously some apps are just going to stop, but like, there's like 40 gigabytes of photos and videos in the last couple of months. And that's just going to be increasing over time. So yeah, you can see why I need the extra storage. Now overall, I do feel like the updates could have been more like kapow, and just they could have changed a little bit more with the iPhone, with the XS and the XS Max. I'm glad that they have a plus size. I did know that they were going to make one, but I'm just glad that they made one. I do like the fact that there is a gold color option for the XS and XS Max. That is something that I felt they were missing last year. Now, I have an iPhone 10. If you do have an iPhone 10, I definitely don't recommend picking a XS up because it's just not worth the change. Let's say if you're on a 6 or a 7, then yeah, I do recommend. If you're on an 8, then still no. If you really want that sort of full screen display, then yeah, maybe you can pick it up. But I'm really only recommending you switch to this if you're super rich or you have the 6 or the 7. Now, while looking at the audio recording just in front of me, it's showing 15 minutes. Hopefully the video isn't that long. It's just a bunch of pauses that I like to take. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. And not just leave a like, go ahead and smash it. Comment down below if you're thinking of picking this up. And by the way, I'm probably going to have a podcast coming out a few hours after this. Like literally a few hours. There's going to be a full hour-long podcast on everything regarding the Apple event. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next episode, because here at AKJK, the grind is daily.